So I'm a totally normal guy. I'm the normal one.
A team of record breakers. Now, Liverpool are back where they belong. Champions again!
I will leave the club at the end of the season.
We all knew that this day would eventually come, and now we're edging ever so close to saying goodbye to Jurgen Klopp as the enigmatic German tactician draws curtains on what's been a memorable 8-year journey. We're going to talk about Klopp's time amid the Kloppites, his legacy, his achievements, and the ginormous shoes that he'll leave for some manager to fill a few months from now. The club hired Klopp in 2015 following his storied stint at Borussia Dortmund. He arrived at Liverpool announcing himself as the normal one. While it was said funnily, the German wanted to make sure that he wasn't seen as some sort of prophet by a club that had been aching for success for many years. Jurgen was given the reins of a club that was searching for its identity, while throwing envious glances at the likes of Manchester City and Chelsea, who were defining a new era in the Premier League. And let's not forget how difficult it was going to be for Klopp to start his career with the Reds, who just lost their talismanic leader Steven Gerrard. Ahead of the 2015-16 season, Liverpool spent big money on Christian Benteke and Roberto Firmino. In his first season, Klopp guided Liverpool to the final of the Europa League, where they lost to Sevilla 3-1. Moreover, they finished the season in a miserable 8th place. But there had been positive signs throughout Klopp's debut season that showed promise to the fans and owners. One sign that stood out was that the Reds were no longer the sort of team that would wither away under duress. Gone were the days of the team conceding at the death or not showing up in games that mattered. That included a 4-1 win away to Manchester City, their first victory against the Citizens since 2008. In the same season, Liverpool also defeated City 3-0 to indicate that while they were struggling for consistency, they were no longer a team that should be taken lightly. Ahead of the 2016-17 season, it was clear that Liverpool needed a new dynamic in their attack and someone who would add more bite to the midfield. The signings of Sadio Mane and Jorginho Wijnaldum did just that. Mane took little time to settle into his new surroundings and scored in his first league game for the Reds in a 4-3 win over Arsenal. By November, the Reds were on top of the league standings for the first time since April 2014. And by the end of the campaign, Liverpool had sealed a return to Champions League football through a 4th place finish, with Sadio Mane and Coutinho scoring 13 goals each in the league. This was the foundation for the next few seasons. This team was ready to evolve further. A heavy metal style of football that Klopp introduced needed players to be both physically and mentally strong. The latter is something that isn't talked about enough. Even in tough times, when results weren't going his way, Klopp never lost the dressing room because there was always this belief within the squad that the gaffer would help them navigate through a challenging situation. Mentality monsters is a term that Klopp made sound cool, but it wasn't just about winning games in an ugly fashion or earning 3 points through come-from-behind wins. It was about the little, unnoticeable, yet crucial things. In games against teams they were expected to win anyway, the Liverpool players wanted to win every first and second ball, and their energy levels never went down even if they were in comfortable positions. Under Klopp, Liverpool would never take their foot off the gas. As he did in every transfer window, Klopp made sure to get the right players to continue building a squad that would change the Premier League landscape in the coming years. Mohamed Salah was signed from Roma, with the Egyptian returning to the Premier League with a point to prove after a forgettable spell with Chelsea. The Reds also had serious defensive issues, so signed Andrew Robertson from Hull after they were relegated, and found solace in Trent Alexander-Arnold, who came through the academy and solidified his position in the first 11. It's all credit to Klopp for noticing the young Trent and integrating him into the first team. The combination of these two wingbacks was something we hadn't seen before, both attacking down the flanks, providing countless assists and scoring the occasional goal. This was a new era of fullback. On top of this, the club spent big on Virgil van Dijk in the January window, breaking the then world record fee for a defender. The first 11 team was starting to come together as a title-winning team. The 2017-18 campaign returned Champions League football to the most successful English team in Europe. They had another positive league campaign with Mohamed Salah finishing as the league's top scorer in his debut season. What better way to round off a positive year than by taking home their 6th Champions League title? Unfortunately, that wasn't to be due to multiple factors. Not only did Ramos intentionally injure Salah early on, but Loris Karius decided not to turn up and would forever be haunted by that night in Kyiv. Not only did he foolishly try to roll the ball out whilst Benzema was there to deflect it back into the goal, but he squandered a half-decent long-range shot from Gareth Bale that had no right to find the net. After the torture of Kyiv, the squad knew they were destined for great things. With the defense sorted out and the deadly trio of Mo Salah, Roberto Firmino and Sadio Mane firing from all cylinders up front, the only missing piece of the jigsaw was between the sticks. Welcome, Alisson Becker. The 2018-19 campaign is where Klopp's Liverpool came into their own. Salah once again delivered up front, adding a second golden boot to his trophy room. But he wasn't alone that season as he shared the iconic trophy with his teammate Sadio Mane and Arsenal's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. The Reds couldn't have done any more. They took City to the wire, and had it not been for another Pep Guardiola masterclass with an unlimited budget, the Red would have ended their top-flight trophy drought. City pipped Liverpool by just 1 point, finishing the season on 98 points to a respective 97. However, not all hope was lost, as Liverpool managed to reach another Champions League final through a whirlwind of results throughout the campaign. Their path to the final wasn't easy, and once again, Liverpool's mental fortitude was visible throughout the journey. After navigating a tricky tie against Porto, the Reds secured a place in the semi-final with Barcelona. After losing the first leg 3-0 at Camp Nou thanks to an unbelievable Messi free kick, many ruled out Liverpool's chances of reaching the final. On top of that, Salah was out injured for the return fixture, and with that drained any hope left of performing another Anfield miracle. In the second leg, Liverpool quickly took the lead through Divock Origi. 1-0 at halftime still meant there was so much to do. But then, Gini Wijnaldum off the bench in the second half, and 2 quick goals were scored to level the tie 3-3. Anfield was bouncing. Then, out of nowhere, Trent caught the Barcelona player sleeping. Thus, corner taken quickly, Origi was born, and Liverpool won the tie 4-3 on aggregate to progress to back-to-back finals. By doing so, Liverpool became only the 3rd team in Champions League history to come back from 3 goals down in the first leg of the last 4, and still secure a place in the final. Liverpool were met by their Premier League counterparts Tottenham. Spurs fully deserved to be there after their heroic comeback against Ajax in the semi-final, with Lucas Moura proving to be the gush of energy they were searching for. Unfortunately, this final wasn't quite the spectacle of either team's semis fixture. An early penalty allowed Salah to smash home his 52nd goal of the season in all competitions. The rest of the game was mediocre until the 87th minute, when Liverpool's last-minute hero, Divock Origi, buried a smart finish to seal a 2-0 victory for Liverpool. This was Klopp's first ever Champions League title, and Liverpool's 6th. Liverpool were well and truly back among the big boys, and were there to stay. With the Champions League in the bag, the next logical step was to finally end their Premier League drought after being knocked off their perch by Sir Alex & Co. Their 2019-20 season was one where Liverpool would enjoy a lot of silverware. It all started with the UEFA Super Cup win over Chelsea. Then came the dreaded COVID. With a deadly pandemic wreaking havoc across the globe, football was supposed to be played behind closed doors. Without fans, it seemed very weird, but that didn't stop Liverpool from dueling with Manchester City to finally end their 30-year wait for a Premier League trophy. Throughout the season, Klopp's men set up numerous top-flight records, including the most consecutive home wins, 24. They also put on a 44-game unbeaten run in the league, the second longest in the league's history. Anfield was a fortress, with Liverpool not losing a single game. Amid the storied run, Liverpool also lifted the FIFA Club World Cup trophy. What was even more astonishing about the triumph was that Liverpool finished the season with 99 points and wrapped the league up with a record 7 games left. Klopp had ascertained himself a Liverpool legend, and rightly so. All that was left to win now was the FA Cup and League Cup, and he could finally say he's completed English football. The 2020-21 season was one to remember for many reasons. With some games still being played behind closed doors, Anfield's longest unbeaten run of 68 games finally came to an end at the hands of Burnley. This stands as the second longest unbeaten run in league history. This loss to Burnley spurred other teams on, as Liverpool crumbled at home without their boisterous fans behind them acting as their 11th man. They went on to lose 6 on the bounce at Anfield, which is something no one had seen before. While sitting in 8th position in early March and the prospect of no Champions League football, their fortunes turned, and they ended up winning 8 of their final 10 matches to secure a 3rd place finish, with Alisson scoring a vital last-minute goal from a corner kick against West Brom. After a mediocre campaign, the 2021-22 season saw Liverpool back to their very best. They won the League Cup for the 9th time and later added the FA Cup to that list, their 8th one, and this one was important as it completed every major trophy the club could win in England. Liverpool participated in every single fixture available to them as they took the league title to City again, ultimately falling short and finishing 1 point behind their modern-era rivals. Not only this, but Liverpool reached another Champions League final and were up against Real Madrid again. This fixture was much closer, but sadly, Madrid prevailed to win their record-extending 14th title. Nonetheless, this was a season to remember, and the fans couldn't be any prouder of their club. The 2022-23 campaign was one to forget for the Reds, as they fell below par and finished the season in 5th place, missing out on Champions League football. There were many contributions to this poor performance, including losing a vital player in Sadio Mane, but also the exhaustion from the previous season seemed to take effect. At the end of the season, notable players decided to leave Liverpool, including their most decorated captain, Jordan Henderson. Klopp was going to have to revitalise the squad again. The 2023-24 season started well for Liverpool, with them at the top of the table and only suffering 1 loss at the hands of Spurs, albeit to a very controversial decision. Then, out of nowhere, Klopp announced he would be leaving the club at the end of the season, and all Liverpool fans around the world were left heartbroken. The man who'd turned the fans from doubters to believers and delivered everything he said he would, was finally no longer able to take the reins of this mighty club. Longevity in football management is directly proportional to excellence, and that is exactly what Klopp brought. However, if we look at Jurgen Klopp's time at Liverpool, it will not be entirely defined by the silverware he brought back, or how he made a tracksuit on a manager look cool again. Klopp's Liverpool came on the scene at a time when Manchester City were the only true force in English football. Under Pep Guardiola, the citizens have gone from strength to strength. A serious cash injection from the owners has only boosted their already burgeoning reputation. Therefore, the league needed someone like Klopp to take it to City. In terms of pure tactics, Klopp has been Guardiola's antithesis. While the Spaniard scaled up total football and added pressing as a key part of his football philosophy, Klopp zeroed in on counter-pressing. Together, these two men influence Premier League football forever. At present, Liverpool have an excellent chance of winning the Premier League, and they could go even further in the Europa League. Chances are that Jurgen Klopp will be able to have his big send-off with at least one bit of silverware in his grasp. And that would be the most fitting farewell to a man who arrived at a club that was searching for its identity, but would leave it as an institution that's offered hope to so many fans around the world that Manchester City will not have it their way in the Premier League, if the other clubs understand how to patiently build title-chasing squads. Although Klopp is leaving, the club will go on. Media outlets have been throwing names around since his internet-breaking announcement. Xabi Alonso, who's enjoying a similar sort of revolution at Bayer Leverkusen, is the first name on the list. A former player and a manager who might be the one to end Bayern Munich's decade-long dominance of German football. Alonso looks like a great replacement. However, we've been there before. Former players returning as managers isn't a sure-shot guarantee of instant success. Click the top right corner for another video on our analysis of Klopp's replacement. So guys, this was our take on the greatest Liverpool manager of the modern era. It's sad to see him walk away from the club, but his legacy seems so immense that the Reds will have no option but to ensure that they continue being a dominant force in England and beyond, while patiently trying to fill the void that the German's departure will be leaving. Let us know your thoughts below, and make sure to smash the like and subscribe buttons and turn on your notifications. Till next time.